Okay, so we are rolling into the tail end of Unit 2, and we're first going to be talking about different types of lines and planes in order to kind of get us back in this mind space of planes and parallel lines and everything that we're going to need for this section. So, parallel lines are coplanar. Do we remember that word, coplanar? Coplanar meaning on the same plane. So, coplanar lines that never intersect. Coplanar lines that never intersect. So, they need to be on the same plane and they don't intersect. Parallel planes, of course, would be planes that never intersect. Planes that never intersect. And then we're going to take a look at skew lines. Skew lines are non-coplanar, so meaning not on the same plane, that never intersect. So the trick here is also they are not parallel, not considered parallel. Perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form right angles. We talked a little bit about that in Unit 1. So these form right angles. So we're going to look and identify some of these different types of things using this figure to my right, this rectangular prism. And I'm going to color code it because it gets a little confusing with all these pieces. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is A, that says all planes that are parallel to plane A, B, D. So first I'm going to highlight or outline plane A, B, D. So A to B to D is going to be this whole top rectangle. The whole top rectangle is plane ABD. There we go. So a plane that would be parallel to it, that would match up, that would never intersect, would be the bottom plane, the one on the bottom that we can't fully see, but this guy down here, these never intersect. They are parallel to each other. It's like the top and bottom of a tissue box. The top and bottom never cross each other. They never touch. And so those are parallel to each other. So I'm going to name that plane EFH. And you can name it slightly different. It just needs to be a combination of 3 letters from the plane. So you could use E, F, G, or H. Any combination of those 3. So if you chose EFG or FGH or something slightly different, that is perfectly fine. So next we're going to find segments that are parallel to segment CG. So CG is down here on the end. I'm going to color him red. And so if they are parallel, they never intersect and they're going in the same direction. So we have DH is also going up and down, and AE and BF down here in the corner. So I have DH, BF, and AE. Next, and this one is always a little weird. It's hard to describe if you don't have like a physical box in front of you, but segments that are skew. So we're looking for segments that are not on the same plane. So they cannot share a plane, and they are not parallel, but they don't intersect. So we're going to look at segment EH. EH is down here across the bottom. And we're going to find segments that are never going to intersect with it, but are not on the same plane. So looking at different edges of the box that are never going to touch it. So things that jump out to me are CG. So CG is going up and down, but it's on this back side. So it's never going to intersect with EH. So I'm going to put CG. And BF is similar. It's never going to intersect. It doesn't come in the same direction. So it's never going to cross EH. So BF. And then we're going to take a look at AB. So AB across the top here. So again, it can intersect the plane that EH is on, because you can tell that AB is going towards that plane and it's going to intersect that plane at point A, but it doesn't actually touch EH at all. And similarly, the same segment on the other side, which is CD. So cannot be parallel. So we couldn't use FG or BC because those would be considered parallel with EH. So it's instead going to be CG, BF, AB, and CD. Then lastly, we are going to take a look at segments that are perpendicular to EH. So that same segment that we just talked about right here across the bottom. I'm going to do this in a green. See if y'all can see it. And if it's perpendicular, it's going to make a right angle with that line segment in some way, shape, or form. So segments that are going to be perpendicular, since this is a rectangle, I know that the corners make right angles. So both AE and DH will make right angles with it, as well as the pieces down here on the bottom, GH will make a right angle with it. On the inside, it's kind of hard to tell that right angle is going with the inside, as well as EF on the inside of the box. So EF and GH. So we have 4 segments that are perpendicular to line segment EH.